It was a day when my computer broke down and I had to go to a cyber cafe. And I start noticing this guy beside me, and I become very, very interested in this guy. Now, this guy is playing this game that is basically shooting people until they die. This guy is not very good. Even though this guy was terrible, even though his friends were watching him, there was no embarrassment. He doesn't feel judged. He's entirely focused on the person that he's speaking to and the result he wants to get. He's got no self-awareness, no thoughts about his own mistakes.
혹시 외국어나 사업을 제대로 마스터하려고 하십니까? 그렇다면 방향을 잘못 잡으신 겁니다.
Somebody who speaks English like they're playing piano, and someone who speaks English like they're playing a computer game. This is my daughter practicing piano, okay? This is as good as it got. She dreaded going to piano lesson because it was all about not screwing up. Her success in piano was measured by how few mistakes she made. Went into English conversations with the same sort of feeling of dread, this sort of feeling that they were going to be judged by how many mistakes they were going to make. I was in a pharmacy. I had to buy Omega. My doctor said I should get Omega. There's tons of Omega. There's Omega that's high in DHA, Omega that's high in EPA. I don't know which one to buy. Now, the sales rep happened to be there, and I saw she was like this well-dressed professional woman. I walk over to her. Her eyes go all wide. It's sort of that panic, oh my God, I got to speak to a native speaker, and she's going to judge me and notice my mistakes. I go up to her, and I explain my situation. Which Omega do I get? And she starts explaining to me everything about DHA and EPA you could possibly imagine. She speaks very quickly, and when she finishes, no idea what to buy. So I turn to the girl behind the counter. Now, the girl behind the counter, I heard her before, her English level is very low. But when I walk over to her, this girl, there's no fear. So I go up to her and I explain the problem, EPA, DHA. She looks at me, she says, okay, EPA for heart. DHA for brain. Your heart okay or not? I said my heart is really, I think it's pretty good. She says, your brain okay or not? I said, no, my brain is not as good as it used to be. She said, okay la, you take Omega DHA? Problem solved.
영어를 구사할 때 결정적인 세 가지 문제가 있습니다.
People take the attitude they developed about English in school and they bring it into their adult life and into their work. And if you're in a stressful situation and you're having a conversation and you're trying to give a result to someone and say it correctly, your brain multitasks. It cannot do two things at once. And what I see is the brain just shutting down. And you may recognize these three symptoms of the brain shutting down. Listening goes. Someone's talking to you and you're so busy thinking about how you're going to respond and express yourself correctly, you don't actually hear what the other person said. The second thing to go is you're speaking. Your mind sort of shuts down and that vocabulary you do know just disappears and the words don't come out. The third thing to go is your confidence. And the worst thing about this is you may only be confident because you cannot express yourself clearly, but to the person talking to you, they may misunderstand this as a lack of confidence in your ability to do the job, to perform. When you speak, don't focus on yourself. Focus on the other person and the result you want to achieve.